Histories of the future. Since the primal beginnings of humankind, we have been forever fascinated by the mystery of the future. In the future lurks the limitless potential for growth and innovation, and although we try and have tried fervently to predict its outcome, we nevertheless struggle with its chaotic and volatile nature. However, from time to time, few have managed to see clearly into the convoluted future. The perception of future hospitality and food solutions from science fiction paints an interesting view into what the people of the 20th century thought the future could be like. Convenience food was shown to have developed to new questionable heights. Floyd in 2001 Space Odyssey is treated to synthesized flavored puree administered through a straw, while the people of 2015 in Back to the Future can make pizzas at home by enlarging them in their hydrators. Not a surprising assumption for a film made during the whirl of the 80s consumerism and convenience. Artificial intelligence plays a central role in sci-fi's depiction of service, with human service jobs being replaced by computers. Although the movies tend to overshoot our technological progress, the idea that AI will one day replace jobs like this is not particularly far-fetched.
We see in our present day that automation has appeared to some degree, but mostly as a gimmick rather than a fully implemented service solution. Machine learning and AI is yet to reach a stage where it can be utilised effectively and cheaply in our restaurants and hotels. Where the actual progress has occurred is the way that humans manage restaurants. Digital point-of-sale systems have revolutionised the way bills are recorded and stored, and has changed the way staff communicate with each other. The internet and global map services allow us to browse establishments and find our way there easily. And if you want to stay in, the restaurants can be brought to you. App-based restaurant delivery, such as Deliveroo and Uber Eats, have flourished in recent years.
For a long time, a world without golden cash was never considered viable. The cheque, introduced in 1659, peaked in use in 1990, but even that has died off. The modern era is moving towards a cashless society, with increasingly accessible methods of contactless payment using biometric authentication. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies started emerging, and a new direction for finance with it. In Back to the Future, we see Biff using biometric payment methods in a taxi, a rather foresightful glimpse into future payment methods from 1985. More conceptual films move away from money to concepts like time, where people barter for goods and services with their time left to live. A series of illustrations by Jean-Marc Cote, issued at the turn of the 19th century, depicted the year 2000, including speculative future transport technologies. Among the wacky and ridiculous were ideas such as an aerocab station with flying taxis, and the rural postman, a postman piloting a bird-like aircraft. The era after the Great War was propeller-obsessed. Films of propeller-driven trains and personal vertical landing biplanes were at the forefront of the public's vision of the future. What was very apparent from the ubiquity of propellers was the inability to think outside the confines of their current technological era. Due perhaps to post-war optimism, people dreamt big and lavish futures. Envisioned were monster passenger planes accommodating 600-plus passengers, with libraries and lounges. Large platforms resembling giant checkerboards would provide the solution to the inevitable problem of downtown landing areas for personal aircrafts. In 1955, the Lewiston Daily Sun released an article titled "Hope for the Motorist." It contained predictions on how traffic problems would be fixed by the year 2000. Mentioned was the complete separation of opposing traffic, resulting in one-way roads and highways. To reduce congestion, broken down cars would be whisked away quickly by a helicopter. In the 1950s, Andrew Kusher, the vice president of Ford, came up with the concept of a levitating magnet car, illustrated floating above a track made of magnets.
As for monster passenger planes, the Airbus A380 is the largest, boasting a capacity of 525 in a typical three-class configuration. The first-class travellers usually have their own seat and bed with a communal bar lounge. In 2009, Air France added an art gallery to the upper deck of one of their Airbuses.
Science fiction movies rarely tackle the idea of futuristic retail solutions, perhaps because shopping is interpreted as a mundane chore.
Shut up and take my money!
However, Minority Report shows retail as a highly customized, customer-focused environment with augmented reality throughout the store. Ready Player One suggests the future of retail may be based in virtual reality. The characters navigate around a bright and exciting virtual reality store, buying items for real-world pickups.
In current time, retailers are experimenting with using VR technology to enhance the user experience. While this isn't part of our everyday lives yet, it is a key focus by many retailers. Supermarkets such as Tesco already have scan-as-you-go technology, saving the need for checkout operators and waiting in long queues. One of the most exciting new shops is Amazon Go, which eliminates the need to scan any items. Shoppers use their Amazon account to scan in as they enter the store, then simply pick up the items they want. Their virtual cart is continuously updated through data collected by cameras and sensors throughout the shop. After leaving the store, your virtual cart total is paid for using your Amazon account. In clothing retailers, smart mirrors are starting to become more common, drawing similarities to Minority Report. Augmented reality is starting to become a huge part of customers' shopping experience. For example, the IKEA Place app allows users to use AR to place items in their home. This reduces the need for customers to measure items and spaces and allows them to see what their home would look like with different items. Communication from one human to another has been constantly developing throughout the history of society. From a painting on the wall of a cave to hearing the voice of an individual thousands of miles away, advances in communication technology have been pivotal in our progression. For a long time now, people have attempted to predict the future of human communication. A great way to understand past projections on the future of human communication is to look at cinematography. In many instances, it is surprising how accurate and how many concepts have come to pass in modern society. 2001: Space Odyssey, a film that was released in 1968, predicted the concept of video call from one place to another, a technology which has now become the norm in society through things such as Skype and Apple's FaceTime. Even in the comedy The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, were initially written in 1978, solutions to everyday problems which seem farcical have now become achievable. In the clip we see the babelfish, a living creature that when inserted into the ear can translate in any language in real time. In 2017, Google released the Google Earbud, a device inserted into the ear that can translate 147 languages.
Futurologist Robert Heinlein stated in 1950, "Your personal telephone will be small enough to carry in your handbag. Your house telephone will record messages, answer simple inquiries, and transmit vision." Looking more in general at predictions for the future, it is clear to see that many predicted correctly that the future of communication was to become more visual. Many predicted touchscreen tablets and wearable eye technology. The world is becoming more connected. The concept of this increasing network has been around for some time. Looking into the future, the movie Ready Player One gives an insight into the potential of VR and the way in which individuals may be able to communicate in an augmented reality together.